So yesterday was my birthday. We decided to run into Miles City and have us a bite to eat. And as we're going in, we got to Miles City just right after a storm had happened. Maybe we didn't do that good a job watching weather and anything like that, but bad storm there in town. Blew down some big trees all over the place. In fact, it uprooted some. We seen a spot by this one school where it was in the middle of the playground where there was asphalt around it, and actually upturned a tree right there in the middle and heaved the asphalt and all that sort of stuff. Huge amount of damage. Seen some power poles and things that were broken. Lost power, so it ended up we weren't even able to eat out there in Miles City at all because of the loss of power. And so we ended up coming back home. Huge amount of damage, like I said, there in Miles City. So we started coming back out, and Sydney at that point started watching the radar and looked like it didn't go all that much further south of Miles City. So as we were driving back out to our house here, we were kind of watching for signs along the route of what we might see. And there's a spot where you can kind of see down toward our place from the highway there. And Sydney said, "Hey, did you leave that big overhead door open?" And pretty sure I knew what the answer was at that point. Definitely didn't think we did. And then we stopped at the gate up at the top of the hill. You could see that the wind had blown all the grass over, like a huge wind coming from basically straight north. And then as I opened the gate, I found some remnants of some quarter-size hail that was still sitting there in the borrow pit. And so we knew at that point things probably weren't going to be all that fantastic, but let's take a little bit of a look at some of the damage we incurred. It's not good. So a little hard to see. We'll kind of keep walking that direction, but there used to be in my shop here is a weird setup sort of thing, is that there was a big door on the end, I don't know, 14, 16 foot, something like that. And then they had an open face shed part, and they had like an interior wall that was set up to separate kind of the shop area from like the animal area. As you can see, I can see all the way through that now. So there was enough wind that came from the north, ended up buckling that door a little bit in the middle, enough that it came out of the rails and pushed that door inside. And there was enough wind once it buckled that door that it blew that wall down too. So it is an absolute mess in there. We'll take a better look. I'm still just trying to get an idea what all's going on. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but this stuff that we had hayed, so of course it was already cut off, but you can see the ridges and stuff in the grass where the wind and the hail drove it, into the dirt. It almost looks like it was farmed in some regards, just the way it was pushed. Luckily we were done with our haying, because it would have really laid it over and really just knocked the hell out of it. So I'm starting to see stuff here and there. So these are some grounding wire nuts that I was using inside the shop there that go blowing all the way over to the fence. Here's a vacuum attachment that was in the shop there that got blown all the way over, from there over to here. So I have no idea what the hell we're gonna find even. Looks like a piece from the roof, maybe some of the insulation deal. So I have no idea what all we're gonna find. We've been around a few places here and there, have a decent idea what our main damage is. I'm guessing there's stuff we're gonna find that we just haven't seen yet. Yeah, this came directly from the north. Let's look at the horses real quick. So the horses were out in pasture, and they do have access to the shed. I don't know if you see old Whiskey's eye. He was kind of red looking last night. I think he got whacked in the head by a piece of hail. I don't know if it shows up in the video now. Actually, not as bad now as it was last night. But he had all sorts of bumps and stuff on him last night. He just got pounded by the hail. I think old Clyde over there, I think Sydney said that she looked at him and his eye looked like maybe he got whacked by it too. So this hail, it's tough on everything. So, for our horses, like I said, they had access to get in, but I think it caught them outside. But it's hard on anything, livestock related, wildlife, any of it, all of it. So his eye looks probably better from yesterday, but I just keep kind of taking a look at him. So I decided to come over here get a better look at the damage and open up this door because it's the one that leads into here. And so I come into this door. You can see just how dirty and stuff it is. That's just all driven up from stuff on the ground. Once again, you see this was stuff that wasn't mowed yet or anything. It's just broken off and driven. Just filthy dirty. But anyway, let's go inside. And this was that makeshift wall that was on this edge of concrete. And so there's the door. And you kind of see that buckle mark in the door there. Once it buckles a little bit, then the door gets narrow, and then it comes out of the rails. I need to take a better look. The rails don't even look that mangled, but the door is shot. We have these you can kind of see these millstones that were left over when we got this place. These millstones have absolutely no use to us whatsoever. And there's a group that sits here, and there's a group that sits right there, and we've been needing to get rid of them, and they take up a lot of wasted space and all that sort of stuff. And as it turned out, those stupid things that we just need to get rid of were a godsend in this case. You can see that door sitting up on there. There's stuff that actually is good, like air compressor and maybe not a lot else, but I guess a few other things that it kept them from getting crushed. So there is that. There is crap scattered all over in here now. But when I came in here, opened the door, to my surprise, old Whiskey, that horse we just met, was trapped over there in the corner. This big long 2x6 that was kind of like a header plate or something, it was actually sitting across over on the panel there, and he was trapped in that section. I don't know when the storm came through. I'm gonna guess 7:30ish or so. We were here a little before 9, so he probably was standing there over an hour by himself. So when we got back over here, we went and grabbed a halter. I at least moved this big long piece of board, and then took a quick look on this wall, see if there was any nails or anything, and I actually led him through the studs there and stuff to get him out the wall, so we get him out and let him go. We have something just kind of scabbed together right now as a temporary little fence to try to keep horses out of here, because we got some major cleanup stuff that needs to happen. So I've been planning on getting rid of this wall anyway, but I was not planning on doing it in this manner. So yes, I know what I'm going to be doing today. I haven't walked to the back side of this building yet. I'm sure it's got a whole bunch of hail dings and stuff, but I don't see any daylight from the inside or through the ceiling, so it must have survived okay. The old Power Stroke was sitting in here because we had some feed in the back, and because of the way that this came in so much from the north, I don't see anything on it at this point, so I think it made it. This old barn here is it needs to be torn down anyway. It's not great. It's been good enough right now for what we need to do with our 4-H steers and our market goats, because they can go in and get out of the weather. Old tin. Actually, I'm surprised this building, looking at the wind, I'm surprised it didn't just blow away, because it's not all that sturdy. Part of the reason that it needs to go bye-bye. Once again, I don't know if you can tell, just the lines, the way that this was driven hard from the north. The kids emptied one of those little feeders and it was full of hail, and there was some that looked like it was up to golf ball size. So pretty sure that it was between quarter size and golf ball size hail that came with it, and you can tell the wind did too. Buckled up some tin here on this north side. Since this barn is just kind of here and it's not that good, I'm just gonna bend her back straight as well as I can and screw that back together. Our other goats had this building they could get out of, so I think they were able to stay out of the weather okay. So now let's get a little bit closer to the vehicles in the house. This house is not that nice. It's an old log house. It's got vinyl siding over top of it. Vinyl siding is the worst stuff known to man, as we all know. There's a few holes in it from a previous storm, but the roof was functional at that time. Siding, I had some spare siding chunks. I was gonna get some stuff out here and there. we'll take a better look at it. My pickup, I just used my pickup that day. This pickup had seen a little hail. Luckily, it was kind of part going into it. My windshield had already had a few cracks here and there, but it was not near that bad. That windshield, let's see if I can get some better angles. That windshield is cooked. She's done. You see it broke my little cowl panel here. Here's a crack in my mirror I didn't have before. This pickup has 213,000 miles on it. This is already starting to chip a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. A little break here in the mirror too. So this pickup probably won't see anything insurance related because of its age and miles. I'll just have to get used to looking at dented hood. Tall enough you don't see the roof really. It didn't really get much on the side. It got a few. I can see more as I look at it. You know, the top door rail there and stuff. But I guess it is what it is. Quick look at my Ranger. I didn't see anything, but I didn't look that close either. I don't know if you can see it on the roof. It buckled shingles up. Jeez, from the wind coming so hard. All this grass was all standing up, probably close to knee high sort of grass. It's all laid over. This will all stand back up, but I don't know if you can hear the creek running. This dry creek, if you get a little bit of rain, because we didn't get that much rain. Our house, of course, I think it was coming sideways enough. I don't know if hardly any of it got in a gauge, so it could have rained more than I thought. But the creek is running pretty decent right now. Here's a better view of what's going on up there in the roof. The wind just got up underneath those shingles. Some of that fascia there, it just totally Swiss cheesed that crappy vinyl siding. And so once again, with this being a log house, definitely not an easy thing to side, and this is a place I was not wanting to spend really any money on. Well, we figured out what the heck we were actually going to do here for housing type stuff. It did break a part of, oh, almost fell down. Did break part of a window out. I got a soffit laying all over here. Looks like maybe the wind got it, and then the hail finished it off. And once again, another little view of the creek. There's a little road and a culvert goes underneath, and it kind of boils it up pretty good right there. Let me navigate around. Some of this, actually, you can see the dirt. This is some of the stuff I was actually planning to fix. I got from a previous hailstorm. You can see a whole bunch, of course, debris and, of course, pieces. Oh, there's one in a tree. Sweet, that's a good place for vinyl siding, is in a tree. Got shingles. Like I said, the shingles, they weren't perfect for sure, but they had some more life in them. They were good enough for the time being. Tree damage not as bad as some stuff in Miles City, but not great. You can see it really Swiss cheese that area too. Oh, there's still some hail there. When I came by yesterday, there was a big drift of hail right up there toward the edge, and it's kind of dirty, dingy looking, but you can still see that there is hail sitting right there. Okay, let's come around. Yeah, just more trees and just all around good fun here. So yeah, once again, now I know I'm doing the rest of the summer. So I don't know if you can see that white thing that's out there. It's a little distant in the video here. Let me zoom in. So we had this thing that goes in the back of our pickup, and that's what we would throw like 4-H sheep and goats in. It's a lot nicer than banging a trailer around. And so hopefully we can salvage some of that. It was actually over here by the trailers is where it was at. So the wind took it all the way out there in the field and mangled it up pretty good. And there was actually a piece of it that was all the way across by the edge of the field. There's another piece of siding or soffit or something over there. So all sorts of fun stuff. There's looks like a vent or something from the roof. I can't remember if that was one that was actually on the roof, or it might have been a spare one that was just kind of sitting by the base here. Got a few more branches here and there. This wasn't a super clean area, but it was better than this, if you can believe it. Okay, the expedition actually fared well because we had it in Miles City, and somehow we missed the storm in Miles City. Mowers are sitting out. Whoa, whoa. Luckily they didn't get whomped on. There's another view facing north of that second story. You can definitely see the logs and stuff underneath it. So, got pounded. One other thing that we'll look at, it just makes me almost sick, to be honest with you, is our Lincoln was sitting out. This thing has kind of been a attractant for bad luck. This Lincoln got pounded. It's really sad to see. This car only has, it's a 2014, but this car only had 42,000 miles when I bought it. Has about 52 right now. It totally just wrecked this entire side. Maybe you can see all the big dings in it. What's weird, you see the taillights broken out of it. You see what's weird is like the direction of this is, and maybe we'll see it today. This trunk lid does not have a ding on it. The top definitely does. You can see on the door side, it's just hammered. Broke that plastic trim between the B-pillar, at the B-pillar there. More dings all over the place. Must have been a couple hit right on the Lincoln emblem that's on the side. I don't know where the hell the Lincoln emblem is right now. Another thing that's weird is we'll look, once again, it shows you how much wind came with it, how sideways it came. I don't know that the hood has a ding on it. How could you have hail coming from the north, broadside like that, and basically miss the trunk lid in the hood? So of course this side, this is what the car, well, it's dirty, but this is what the car looked like. This actually is a nice sharp car. That's what it looks like. So now it's gonna be good on one side and totally hammered, trashed on the other side. One thing that I'm afraid of is that, you know, with all that damage on this side, I'm afraid they're gonna total this thing. And if they do, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess maybe find a few replacement parts here and there and just drive it, because mechanically it's, you know, plumb fine. So definitely this sucked. This is really sad to see over here. So anyway, that is kind of, you know, doghouse is rocked back, some more branches. We have been trying to, when these bigger windstorms come, park the vehicles back, because can you imagine if we had that Lincoln parked further up, it could have got hammered by hail and had a tree branch dropped on it. So you can see some others broken off up there that we're gonna have to take care of. So not a good deal. Pretty disappointed at this whole thing. You know, this place definitely kind of a fixer-upper when we bought it, but there was some stuff that was like, okay, we can get by with this for now until we decide our ultimate decisions as far as housing and don't have to put that much money into it. Now there's some crap that happened that have to make a decision on if we put some money into this dump or not. I did take a look at swather, and of course it's old but works. Swather and tractor and all that sort of stuff. Make sure they didn't have any broken windows or anything. You know, first blush look at all that stuff. It looks okay. Once again, here's our volleyball net we'd put down on the ground in case big wind come up, so you can kind of see the direction that it came from. You know, it basically came from, oh, I don't know, let's take a guess, probably right that direction. So pretty much straight from the north, which is a little bit odd too. Usually it's west northwest type combination, usually not like a due north type thing. So anyway, I did this video twofold to show people kind of what damage we're seeing. As you can imagine, we're also going to need an insurance adjuster to come around the place and see what's going on, so maybe this will help out with that too. So anyway, we're not looking for pity or anything like that. A lot of people have it worse, and you know, we're in an area of the world we don't really get tornadoes or hurricanes or anything like that, but it still sucks. Anybody going through this sort of crap, it sucks. So with that, I'm going to end the video. Thanks for viewing. Talk to you later. Bye.